travelers, in this episode we are at the Wicked Spoon in Las Vegas. This is one of the best buffets that I enjoy coming to, and it's been a while, Micah, so I'm actually really happy here to go and give it a try.
Yeah, Simon, I'm really excited to come back to Wicked Spoon. It's been a couple years since we've been here, and I really did enjoy this buffet, and even before we started this channel, it's one of my favorite buffets. So a little bit operation hours here. They open daily from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and at the time of this recording, it was $54 a person before tax and tip. And there was a new thing that we noticed at the cashier. There was and also when we were seated, the server also reminded us of the same information, and that is there's a now 90-minute time limit for dining.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of followed that Caesar's Palace Bacchanal kind of rule now and only give you that 90-minute limit. So yeah, that was definitely new. Before, there was no limit, so you could kind of go as long as you wanted. But now in this case, you have that hour and a half, which should be plenty of time. But of course, that always depends on how many people there are, and that kind of affects how many places and how comfort you can have while you're eating.
Yes, Simon. I think another part of that 90-minute that could be an issue is, especially when you're coming here early in the morning, you're looking for maybe eggs Benedict or something that needs to be served from the hot stations. Those can take quite a bit of time away from your 90-minute.
Yeah, and one of the things to note is we actually did come here for the breakfast buffet, so we came here at open. And so there was a pretty good line when we got here, and of course there was plenty of space as it was at the beginning of the day, but there was definitely still, Micah, a lot of people who came through and lined up for this buffet.
Yeah, I remember every time we come here, even for lunchtime, there's usually, especially on the weekends, there's usually always a line. I think another part of this buffet that I'm pretty excited about this time, at least, is that we're seated on the left side of the buffet. Like the last, I don't know how many times we've been here, we've always been seated on the right side of the buffet. So it's definitely a different perspective and different experience for us.
Yeah, like it's something that we've always kind of discussed. Every time we've come in, we've always gone to from the entrance, we've gone to the right side and sat over by, if you're familiar with Wicked Spoon, the dessert kind of area station, and we've always sat there, and then every time we've always wondered, so how is it like sitting on the left side? Is it a little better? I mean, you can see it as you walk through the buffet and see that side, but we just actually never got to sit there until this time, which was actually pretty nice, and they put us right next to the buffet, and so we can kind of see all the stations, and it was a very, very close walk just to even get to the nearest buffet station for us. So that was really nice.
Yeah, on the left side where we were seated, it was actually really bright too. I really appreciate that, because every time we sat on the dessert side, I mean, it's still bright in terms of lighting, but it's not as bright, because I feel like the stations, they're just extra bright so that people can see all the food, so everything was just enhanced on the left side. And there was not that many tables either from where we were seating, so it felt pretty nice. I actually really would like to sit on that side again if I come back.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. The traffic was less because there was only a handful of tables where we were at, and you'll see in the video kind of the area in which we sat. In terms of the buffet food, Micah, I'm still pretty happy with the quality here at Wicked Spoon. Just the freshness, the way they prepared everything, the flavors are pretty much what I remember.
Yeah, I think being here so early, especially at the open, there were still a few stations that were not quite set up. I remember when I was walking through, especially in the left side of the buffet, I was watching some of the chefs still putting sauce on some of the dishes, and I mean that's good, but I kind of wish they would have been all like ready to go right at the open too.
Definitely, it wasn't all prepared or even like fully stacked. There were a lot of buffet station areas, and you'll see in the video where there's just not a full display of foods. And as you can see, especially with the eggs Benedict, there was just a couple of dishes there, and it just looked really empty. It's not quite that beautiful display that you usually see when you go to Wicked Spoon kind of later during the day. So they're still kind of setting everything up. Definitely one of the things that I kind of think about now compared to in the past was just how much other buffets, such as the buffet over at the Wynn, kind of focuses too on display, because it's always really beautiful over there, and over here, of course, it's not bad, but you could tell that the focus on display over at the Wynn is so much more than it is here over at Wicked Spoon.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I have to agree with you, Simon. It's definitely not as pretty here, but I think there is still maybe more bite-sized dishes here compared to the Wynn.
Yeah, the variety is definitely here. You can definitely find a lot of different things to try. It's going to hit different flavors and kind of play with your palate more, I think. It's because, as the name suggests, as Wicked, they kind of add a little more spices to a lot of things, and that's really nice. And one of the things that kind of brought to mind was with the bone marrow that I had, and that was still nice that they do offer bone marrow, because I've noticed that some of the places that we've gone to that used to have them didn't have them anymore, and in this case they did, and they had a nice bone marrow where they're sear the top, and then they'll put a little bit of braised beef and some spices on it, and it was really delicious.
Yeah, that was something that we both really enjoyed when we first came to Wicked Spoon. I think at that time, no other buffets was offering bone marrow, I believe. So I remember that was something that was very memorable for both of us. And over here at the salad bread station just now, you saw that they had something called the Wicked Juice. I thought that was nice that they actually named it after the buffet. And this is one of my favorite things to grab each time I come to this buffet, is that they have these fresh juices that they make. And at the time of the recording, it was featuring a blend called Wicked Juice with like a vibrant mix of apple, cranberry, orange, and passion fruit.
Yeah, I ended up grabbing one as well, Micah. I did really enjoy it. Before, I used to come to the buffet here, I would order a different beverage. It would be like orange juice or apple juice, but I kind of stopped that. Now I just get a cup of coffee and then go grab my own juice, because I really do enjoy their kind of versions of things that they provide, rather than just kind of your normal apple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice kind of blend.
Yeah, and another thing I grabbed that I normally never grab is a croissant. I typically skip any type of breading at buffets, but at this time, one did caught my eye. It was kind of golden, like on the flaky exterior look of it, and it looked so crisp, and from the texture, I really wanted to like just grab it and break it apart and see if it really had that crackling sound to it, and it actually did. It had that really nice crispness to it, and that was something I was really surprised about for this croissant being from a buffet.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you can still tell that they focus on quality. And one of the things, the trends, at least Micah, that it's been kind of going around is Las Vegas casinos and these large resorts. They've been kind of reducing their buffets, or they don't want to expand it. It seems like the buffet is starting to kind of dwindle down. So you just have a select few now compared to what you had before, where pretty much every casino would have a buffet for you to try. But I'm just really happy that they are still keeping the quality up and kind of having the offerings that they do still. It's really nice that you actually have this choice.
Yeah, and I think it was something that we both discussed on while we were eating was these crab legs. The crab legs that they have here is definitely pretty fresh and pretty good quality. I think there's a lot of buffets that we went to where they kind of have this more rubbery, synthetic taste to it.
Yeah, we've been to our share of buffets, Micah, and that's something that we always run into. We always grab the crab legs if we want to try it, and it's always disappointing when you get one and it's not fresh. It's, like as you said, this synthetic flavor, just kind of this thing where it tastes like it's been sitting in like a salt bath for a really long time just so it can get preserved, and it's just not an enjoyable meal when you're eating it. You see crab legs and you're excited to eat it, but then when you get a bad one and the reality kind of sits in where it's just like, okay, it's not worth it, and you're not enjoying eating this. But in this case, Wicked Spoon still keeps up, as you mentioned, the quality. And so I remember my first bite on having the crab legs. It was delicious. It was fresh. You could tell the difference, the texture, the flavors, everything was there. And so definitely, if you want crab legs, this is a spot for getting some more fresh crab legs that you can actually enjoy eating.
Yeah, because especially, I know a lot of viewers, they always comment, is there crab in these buffets? And that's definitely something that we run into a lot where, yes, they may offer it, but how's the quality? So like Simon mentioned, this is spot on. It's really fresh, tastes really good. Definitely a good experience for coming here for this crab, especially for a morning buffet.
Yeah, in the mornings you don't get quite the offerings you do during either a lunch buffet or especially even a dinner buffet. So it was nice that this was a breakfast buffet and they had this type of offering for seafood. You don't find it as often as you do at other places where they would kind of cut down their menu just so there's not so many things as people are more accustomed to just eating breakfast foods.
Yeah, another thing I did want to mention was that beef tri-tip. I really did enjoy that thing. I really thought it was really juicy and moist. It was cooked medium rare and nice pink in the center. It was well seasoned on the crust side as well. The texture of it was really great. Not many buffets that we go to actually keep it perfectly medium rare in the center and have a really nice rich texture on the crust.
Yeah, very well seasoned crust. I agree. I had that and it was a nice bite each time. I really did enjoy it. And I usually have horseradish with it, and this time I didn't because I usually have horseradish for a couple of reasons. One is, of course, the flavor, but the other one is if I find the prime rib a little bit not as moist as I would like, it kind of helps with the moisture with the horseradish. But in this case, it was very delicious, and I didn't have any horseradish on it, so I left it plain.
And moving along to the dessert section, I still feel like the dessert section here at Wicked Spoon is pretty good. They're pretty well stacked with the amount of variety of desserts that they offer.
Yeah, it's always a nice abundance of different desserts and very delicious, including the gelato that they have. Definitely Wicked is one of those top buffets in Las Vegas. And even with the price, as the price of everything is climbing these days, it's still, I think, the value compared to what you would get somewhere else is still pretty good for the quality that you're getting and the variety. So I definitely enjoy Wicked Spoon and would definitely want to come back again and eat here.
And to wrap up the episode are our notables, and unfortunately for this episode we did not have any notables.
And to support our channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. And for more photos, follow us on Instagram. See you guys on the next episode.